Guardians, we've picked up a high-gain transmission. Origin point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
What is up, Guardians? This is Cosmodrome Radio, broadcasting on all frequencies all the way from here to Neo, Muna, and beyond. This is the show all about D2, Destiny 2, and all the great things about it, from your lore all the way to your drama. We got it all right here for your good listening pleasure. Whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music and Audible, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Definitely check us out on iHeartRadio because they have like I know a lot of people like iHeartRadio for some reason. So yeah, that's the thing. So definitely check us out, folks. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Cosmodrome Radio. You can if you for some reason just cannot find the podcast, go to cosmodromeradio.com where you'll be able to locate it there. And even got some stuff coming down the pipeline that we'll announce on next week's episode. So get ready.
It's secret.
It's some secret stuff. So it'll be going live as next week's episode goes live Friday at noon. So get ready for that. Special shout out to all of our amazing collaborators on this special project, because not only do we have our some artists working with us, we have other artists that are going to be working on future stuff with it. So get ready. It's going to be hype. All right. My name is Panda the Paladin. To my left and my right, we have the two hooligans that are running strikes while we're supposed to be recording a podcast. We have Alchemy King and Tower Mom. How are y'all both doing?
I'm
doing great.
Amazing.
Hooligans, both of them.
My work worked me to my fucking bone.
Oh God, I know. Work sucks. Play games. Get loot.
Jesus. All right.
How you doing, Panda?
I'm all right. It's a fun evening. I'm gonna run my 3 runs once we're done with this. So we'll have some fun after that. Because I actually record in my studio, not just at my game console. But we're gonna go ahead and dive in this week's topics. Kind of light. Got some stuff we want to talk about and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. For those who did not read both the TWAB and the Wednesday article, we got the official reveal. It was leaked weeks in advance for those who saw those. But if not, cool. This is your first announcement of it. Guardian Games is going live this Tuesday. We finally got confirmation of that. Shout out to Titans. We're fighting for Lance, so get ready for that. Titans are hustling hard.
Well, here's the thing, though. I ran into a guy saying that Lance actually played Warlock.
Oh no,
Lance. So okay. I have, before he passed, he did some streams on YouTube, and I was very lucky enough to be in the chat for those streams. And I actually asked him, and he answered, because at the time he was playing on his Titan, and I had seen that he also played Warlock. So I asked him, I was like, why are you on your Titan? I thought you mained Warlock. He answered me, which I thought was really cool. And he said, I play both equally, but never Hunter. The man himself, he played both Titan and Warlock equally.
That's
but
hilarious.
Never Hunter.
Well, we're gonna be fighting this podcast and this clan are gonna be fighting hard for the Titans because Titans deserve to win for Lance. Now, I want to address a couple things that I saw on the subreddit and on Twitter. To all these people that are like hunters and warlocks that are being like super rude, saying, who cares about Zavala? I'm like, first of all, you can have your beef with Zavala because he let Cade die or didn't avenge Cade, whatever the heck you want to talk about. That's fine. You can have that beef. That's fine.
Don't you dare bring that beef into the real life with Lance.
Right. This is strictly.
I will smack.
This is straight up us trying to honor a fallen hero, a fallen friend. So I need So I need y'all to respect that. I need y'all to be down with that because it's only going to get better from here.
Yep.
So just be down with that. Be ready for that hustle. So, just be down with that. We're going to be grinding hard for Titans, getting ready for that. In terms of if you actually read the article, you will see that there was a bit of a misunderstanding in the community specifically because there was the statement that you actually saw in the TWAB that Bungie kind of hinted you should have your crafted weapons on when banking medals at the tower, but Bungie misworded that. What they meant to actually say is there is going to be a crafted weapon level up booster during Guardian games. So they had to come out and change that because from what people were like seeing, it was like, oh, you're going to get bonus progress on your weapons for every medal you turn in. That would have been busted because there's like a million and one different ways to farm medals. Someone was going to break that and have every one of their weapons to level 100. But now they sort of clarified, no, there's just going to be a booster during the entire event, which I find very cool. So that's
good too. Why not?
I'm straight up excited. Let me talk about this year's Guardian Games armor because each year Bungie keeps raising the bar. I thought last year's was like the precipice, but this year they sort of like mixed last year's and the year before a little bit, sort of like took the grid Tron look but mixed in the sports attire a little bit, which I really enjoy. Shout out to the Titans with the Beats by Dre. Love that.
Yes, I've got my Vibin emote ready to go on my Titan. She's gonna have her cell phone out with her beats just bopping her head because vibe. Can I just say though, the Warlock armor, like, who decided that it would be okay to fucking make the Warlock pants look like they got a camel toe? This ain't 1970. I'm fucking sorry. I'm so glad I am maining Titan for Guardian Games because I do not want to be wearing a fucking camel toe around the goddamn.
I'm dead. You coming for the Warlock like that? Damn.
Hey, I'm a Warlock maid. I can say that shit.
That's funny. Now, I will say what I'm really hyped about is the Strand Hung Jury basically they're putting out because
give me more Strand weapons.
Because not only are we getting the first ever Strand Scout rifle, if you look at it's called Taraxipose, this thing has an amazing perk pool. I'm about to get me a Zen Moment explosive payload version. I'm so hyped. So that's going to be insane for that. Alchemy, how you feel about the game so far from what you've seen?
Honestly, I think it's doing better than when it was the last time we recorded.
Oh, really? How so?
Ooh, I never heard you guys' episode for last year's games. Do tell.
Last year we had all like the broken ass, like, oh God, I can't remember the half of the stuff, but like half of it was like just broken. But now with like the exotic attunements and all that, honestly,
I feel like it'll be a lot better this year. Honestly, the biggest problem with last year was it was too easy to break. Like you had an overflow of medals. I can't even count how many title SMGs I got. There were so many. Like
God, yes.
There was like fully masterwork ones that were dropping at the end of the week, and I was like, I don't need this. I'm excited though because they're reissuing the title with like repulsor brace and stuff, and I'm like,
ooh, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be real nice. Because before the title wasn't even worth using, but now I'm like, okay, this actually might be worth my time. But no,
I got a decent PvP title. The title in PvP is still really decent.
I mean, it's all right. Like it doesn't stack up to some of the bigger name SMGs right now, but like it's all right. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Immortal.
Yeah,
Immortal.
Immortal needs to come down real quick. I'm gonna just say it.
Everybody needs to get off of that kick. Holy hell. There are better SMGs out there. They just playing it because it's new and it's shiny.
You right.
I mean,
Well, also, right now,
typical
it's the
freaking Guardians.
it's the only aggressive frame SMG that's available right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Unless you craft an SMG, then you can craft it with an aggressive frame. But
Right.
No, there's no craftable
Well, is it IPO still an aggressive?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Icolos
forgot
is
about that.
aggressive, and I do believe it is craftable.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I completely forgot about it. But it's the only one in the primary slot,
Yeah, that's true.
like
So-
multi-mock and everything.
Yeah. So we'll take a look and see what comes of that specifically. In terms of the games themselves, because from what they described, not only they're bringing back the specific playlist for Guardian games, they're bringing back Supremacy from D1, which is a PvP mode that basically just kill confirmed, but for like Destiny, but also for the first time ever, class-based matchmaking. Titans v Hunters, Titans v Warlocks.
That's gonna be
about
fun.
to go hard. I'm so
It's
hyped,
gonna
bro.
go crazy.
I will laugh if two teams of sweaty hunters face up against each other.
It would be insane, bro.
Well, granted,
that
that's
would be
all
messed
you're gonna
up.
fucking see in it is Invis hunters and everything. On
See,
one team.
that's when you pull out the Rat King. That's when you pull out the Rat King and start memeing on the hunters because they aren't expecting Titans or Warlocks to go invis.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I like it. That makes sense. I mean, like, I hate Rat King as a gun. I hate Rat King so much as a gun, so much. Because it's
not my favorite.
I'm
but
not
it's
the
fun
biggest
to
sidearm
meme.
person, so like its existence
Yeah.
frustrates the crap out of me. And I feel like sidearms have too fast of a TTK for their own good. So I feel like sidearms in general need to get tuned the heck down. But that's just my
Depends what
personal
you
opinion.
use. Because some of the sidearms aren't even worth using.
Oh, there's so many sidearms that are in the game that just don't see use because they're not that powerful.
Yeah.
But in terms of their speed, it's a problem in certain situations where a crappy sidearm can still be good. Like a horrible rolled sidearm can still be good. That's a problem.
That time
to me.
when we were in trials and someone had the fucking oh god, I can't remember what sidearm, the Redback 5 SI.
They're just a random Vice Redback, just shredding everybody. I was like, yo, what are you talking about? It made no sense to me at all. But it's okay. We're getting better. We're gonna see what happens. I'm really excited for the class specific matchmaking, and that's gonna be really cool. It'd be really cool if Titans v Titans happens. That's just me, just straight Titan warfare. But in terms that's the biggest thing in regards to that. Now, from that was pretty much the majority of the of that article. They are going to be having similar to what they've done for past events recently, where they will have the optional card that you can purchase for $10. There are different teams that are going to be competing for charities. So definitely be looking out for that and support your favorite streamers for those different kind of teams. There's even the top team and the technical.
I think we might be getting the Twitch bounties to get the emblems.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to be doing that again too. That'll be fun.
That would be dope.
There was also a free emblem drop with this past week's TWAB for the game, or not for the games, but it was an Amogus free emblem drop. So if you haven't gotten that yet, guys, get that. Yeah.
You said Amogus, and I'm like, what the hell is Amogus?
Among Us.
It's the meme way of saying Among Us.
Nobody calls it Among Us. They always call it Mogus or Amogus. Yeah.
Told you this. Never said this.
Everyone I know
in the past year,
plays it.
Panda.
Yeah, Panda, I hate to tell you, but you haven't
Oh,
been.
I've heard this. I feel so old.
Oh, shut up! I'm like 10 years older than you.
I feel so old
I
right
know.
now. Like you darn rapscallions in your
How-
weirdness.
How Tower's older than you?
I'm like 10 years older than you, bro. What are you talking about? And I know this crap. Hello, fellow kids.
That's how I feel. Hello there, fellow kids. Like redonkulous.
I guess that's
But
the
you know,
perks of having a teenage son.
Yes, because that just fam. That's a nah for me. And just not, yeah, nah, all on y'all for that one.
But regardless, it's a free emblem, and if you haven't dropped it yet, check out the clan Discord. I will put it up in the radio lounge, so that way everyone can get that free emblem if you haven't gotten it yet.
Yes. But also, yeah, make sure you join the Discord. We put the Discord link in every episode. Well, if you're looking for a clan, we're always looking for new people to join the clan. We're even like doing like clan specific things. Like the announcement that we're announcing on Friday is being announced to the clan tonight. So like definitely be looking out for stuff like that because we want to make sure that you get these cool. So just be down for that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be. The TWAB came out. TWAB was hurt. I love how Bungie literally had to come out and be like, "Hey, yo, hunters, we know you mad about like us nerfing certain mod combinations with the grapple grenade. So like, here's what we're gonna do to make y'all calm the hell down."
Like, here's your cooldowns. We fixed them.
Right, like they straight up just went, "Hey, yo, we're tired. We're tired of you complaining. Here's what's gonna happen. Just deal with it. It's okay." Like I get it because don't get me wrong. Like the complaints were valid. Like they were very because it was very awkward that Bungie was just like, "Hey, yo, why are you why are you ruining our fun? We're trying to have fun." But no, so because of the different nerfs that happened, not only is the grapple in general being reduced in cooldown from 105 to 82 seconds, they reduced the minimum time between grapple activations from 2.5 to 0.2. So that makes like hunters having that like double a grapple in the end with the fragment very easy to combine. Strain Hunter in general, not only does your threaded spike now increase damage versus PvE combatants, the travel distance range is farther. It has reduced speed if it returns to the player by catching it easier. Increase the energy gain for catching the dart based on the number of enemies you hit. So like the more people you hit with that dart, the more melee you get back, and it apparently can pierce Cabal phalanx shields now. So like,
hey yo,
that's
anti-barrier, melee,
intrinsic barrier, yeah. I feel like that should just be tied to like an exotic. Like just give them like second chance, but for hunters.
Yeah. So I don't understand why hunters were complaining about catching the freaking melee when both me and my son had it figured out in like 0.5 seconds on how to catch it. You just gotta time it right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even play Hunter. And I was just throwing my freaking knives and catching them and throwing them and catching them. And like half of the missions that I was doing for him in like Witch Queen were just all killed with melees. Because I just threw the knife, caught it, threw the knife, caught it, threw the knife, caught it. It's not like even for someone even for someone like me who has like severe astigmatism and needs really thick lenses for their glasses, like it was not hard to figure out. You just got to get the timing right.
Yeah.
That's all. But I mean, if if people want to complain, they're going to complain about something, and at least it's something pretty damn innocuous, like being able to catch the knife. So
they just needed a little bit of help, Tower. It's okay.
Yeah. Y'all come to the tower. I teach melee classes on Wednesdays and Fridays.
I'm fucking dead.
Don't forget to tip your shack.
Classes.
Don't forget to tip your shacks. I'll be here all week.
Jesus. All right. Moving on to the rest of the TWAB. The winner of the contest in terms of who's getting the next exotic, and y'all have disappointed me because you gave it, instead of Thunderlord, you gave it to Witherhorde. Witherhorde has like 5 different ornaments, and y'all said, "Hey, yo, let's give it to Witherhorde." Like, what?
I need another ornament. Why? Oh, why? Why did you do this to us? The betrayal. It hurts me.
It don't make no sense. Cool. It's something cool. Announce that if you get the Bungie email, the next trial that will be on Thursday, you choose between this or what is it? So for that,
if you guys choose disjunction, I will literally do something about it.
I will yeet slippers at anyone who votes for disjunction.
Like, who would want to play trials on disjunction? That sounds so horrible. Like, unless it was capture mode, that sounds like the worst like thing ever.
Yeah. There's actually a creator on TikTok who's encouraging his following to freaking vote for disjunction, and I literally just put like a whole thread of comments on his TikTok, just slippers for days.
Jesus. All right.
Like, dude, what's wrong with you?
Like,
people
why torture
me.
your followers with disjunction?
Like,
I know, and he's one of the bigger TikTok creators too. So it's like, oh no, you got like 10, 15,000 people following you, all voting for disjunction. No.
I just like who would want that though? It just doesn't make any sense to me, but it's fine.
It's fine.
But so that's just I'm so perplexed by that. But Bungie did something pretty cool when they released a bunch of like a giant collection of all the artists references for a lot of their characters. They released stuff for Callus, for Nezarec, for Say 14, a bunch of stuff that when people actually have like perfect stuff to look at for fan art, or just if they wanted to recreate stuff for cosplay, they literally dropped almost every character's stuff. And I find that so cool because it was what's funny to me is I could have really used this a few months ago. I got my Say 14 tattoo because I got his emblem tattooed to my chest, because I had to legit have my artist dig through the Season of the Dawn files to get the perfect version of the bird, because on his modern outfit it covers it up. But she got it. It looks really good on my chest.
Yeah, so, it does look good.
So thankfully that worked out. But his young armor looks so nice. But it's cool. He's definitely grown a lot as a character since then. I love the reference stuff so much. So definitely shout out to Bungie for doing that for the creatives of the community. We have some amazing artists that are in the community. We're currently working with some of them, so definitely look out for that. And you notice how I'm hinting at something I'm hinting at something specifically. Like, get ready, it's gonna be dope. I just approved something specifically for this week, so it's gonna be dope. So just be excited, y'all. This is some great things are coming. Great things are coming. Then so the TWAB was very much short, nothing too crazy. And so we're gonna dive into a couple other topics for y'all for this episode. So the first one that I want to touch on is Data, a well-known raider, a well-known content creator, put out a video talking about the position in raids where you do just add clear. And he does a good chunk at the beginning of the video talking about like the concept of it, like how people do it wrong and whatnot. And then he talks about like how to be better at it. So here's what I want to touch on specifically. So for a long time in the community, ad clear as a position in raids has been like the default for like unknowledgeable people who are not that good at raiding, people who are newer to a raid, like, hey, just go over here and shoot shit. Mm-hmm. But in reality, when you start getting to higher end content, ad clear is like the most crucial thing on God's green earth. And people have started to take that for granted.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest one that sort of like finally exemplified that was planets for Root of Nightmares. Because if you don't have people clearing ads for Root of Nightmares for planets, you are going to have the worst time. Because not only do you have 4 different people crossing over to do the planets, you have 2 people who should be dedicated to killing every ad possible. And if they're not, that literally leaves you in one of the worst tight spots where like these 4 different individuals have to keep crossing the arena. They're getting constantly bombarded by ads. They end up dead. And it sucks.
And also during DPS.
Especially the Centurions.
Yep.
What
were you going to say?
And during DPS, if you don't kill the Scions, it's going to turn into Nezarec.
Yeah.
It's literally just going to be bouncy house, and it's not going to be a fun time.
Yep.
It's just like when you actually sit there and think about it, you start to understand like the problem of it all. But then as you're experiencing it, you're like, wow, this really sucks. So no, but in terms of just ad clearing as a thing, you like granted, it's a great thing for newer players, but also I want like not only is it crucial for newer content, I think the flip side of that is a lot of people in the D2 community have started to abuse ad clear, especially with Root of Nightmares or just like older content have started to take the title of ad clear to mean I can be lazy, and that's not okay. Perfect example. We were doing a Deepstone Crypt 8-Trax farm on Thursday. We were LFGing for a 6 Titan to help us just demolish Atrax. We had a dude come in without Curus of the Falling Star. He had Precious Scars on. He had a Praetus Revenge sniper rifle and 2 other random legendaries. And we're like, hey, dude, like, what's your experience rating? We want to know how you're feeling, what you're good with. We want to make sure that you do the best thing. Do you have Curus of the Falling Star? No, I don't got it. Well, can you run these specific weapons? No, I don't got them. Okay, can you run these weapons? No, I don't got them. I got this sniper rifle so I can shoot servitors. A Praetus Revenge so you can shoot servitors. Huh.
In an enclosed space where you don't need a freaking sniper rifle. Like if it were a Tanix farm and you were trying to like kill ads across from like blue to orange, then maybe. But in an enclosed room, you're going to use a sniper rifle.
And it really reeked of you've gotten really complacent and you don't want to change or be flexible for your raid party. Because here's the thing. There are like the most toxic raid teams, like the Galahorn or Quit kind of people and stuff like that. Like there are those people. And I think those people are the worst kind of people there are. But at the same time, if you come into a raid team and you're just like so hardcore, I'm not gonna change this, I'm not gonna change that, I refuse to do it, yada yada. Do you know how alienating that is to people? Do you know how like really bad that is? I remember There was a time we did a Garden of Salvation where we were doing a div run, and this dude came in and like the only void weapon he had for third encounter was like an Aikilos hand cannon from Season of Arrivals. And I was like, "Hey, are you a new light? Like, you don't seem like you have like an idea of what you're doing." He's like, "No, I've been playing since D1." Then like, why don't you have a lot of stuff? Oh, because I deleted my entire vault. Huh? What? Well, I didn't think any of the guns were good.
What?
What? Like it fried my brain, and like it was to the point where he kept dying and not wanting to learn the mechanics, and it was very frustrating because we are the most like understanding people when it comes to like training people and getting them to understand things. But when you're so just like against like learning mechanics and learning certain things, there's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing I can do. I can't help you. And it's really frustrating because I want to see people succeed. I want to see people do well, but I don't want to understand that like you still have to like do things and adapt to things. Then there's nothing I can do. Like, because don't get me wrong, there was someone who once said, "I don't care if they have to use a cost off, get them through the raid. I'm not here to carry you. I'm here to help you." Like, I think the community itself has gotten complacent as well with just carrying people through content, not educating them on how to do said content. That's a big thing as well, because if you don't actually think about it and train them and help them understand why they're doing certain things, if you just say, "Hey, yo, put Galahorn on, put this on," and don't explain things, then they're not going to have a fun time. They're not going to learn anything. They're going to have a bad experience. But then also, if you're somebody that doesn't want to learn, you're not going to have a fun time. Your raiders aren't going to have a fun time. And if you, because if that dude from the Deep Stone, when it came upstairs with precious scars and a sniper rifle, we'd have been sitting there like, "Hey, yo, why didn't you thunder crash him?" "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to." And then it'd been like, or he wouldn't have had enough damage output. It was a whole thing. And it just, it really bothers me at like just in general that we're not willing to be more flexible. Tower, I know you're someone that actually enjoys being on ad clear. Can you sort of give more perspective on that?
So, one, I enjoy ad clear because it allows me to, one, be able to watch and learn by watching other people doing the mechanics. Because for me, it takes me a while to actually like understand the mechanics, and I have to watch people, and then I get comfortable with watching them and I can ask questions, things like that. But at the same time, while I'm watching people, I'm actually doing something that helps with the raid. So whether it's ad clear or div or, just, when I'm on my Titan, being that Titan that, everyone else has used their super and, oh, I still have my super, Thunder Crash go, it allows me to feel like I'm still actually part of the raid experience, whether I'm, just killing ads or killing colossi or helping with barrier champions or things like that. Those are still important things that need to be done. For example, you give the Ron example. Well, when we're in that zigzag room and people are jumping across, there's there's ads to keep off of them. There's the barrier champions at the end of each floor. And I get comfortable being able to do those, so that way I feel like even if I'm able to just teach someone new how to do the ad clear and when things spawn and where things spawn, that means the next time I do the raid with you guys, then I can learn something new. And I know that I've taught a new light or I've taught an LFG person well enough that they can do it, the ad clear on their own, and I can go in and help and keep learning on my own, from y'all. For me, learning things is a step-by-step process that sometimes may not seem logical, but if I can start small, then I can feel comfortable, pulling in new people and then eventually start teaching, mechanics with y'all, or reminding of a step that, y'all were teaching and, you might have forgotten. I'll have had that information in my head from hearing it enough times, even though I'm just doing ad clear, that I can be like, hey, you guys forgot this. Don't forget this. Or, hey, aren't we supposed to be doing this in the next room? I mean, even if it's just like shooting, even if I accidentally shoot a Colossus in, planets, and now I can read which planet y'all need to go to. Okay, I can do that. It's just a step-by-step basic process for me, but I have to start, quote unquote, small. Yeah, I got to start somewhere in order to learn more for me. So, I mean, like, it's both learning, but also still feeling like I'm, doing something that's important to the raid. That I feel like I'm not just getting carried,
Yeah.
Because I hate being carried. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to be part of it, even if it's just, ad clear. And I say just. And I say just, but in a lot of raids, ad clear is really freaking important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Ron.
Yeah, Ron in general. Ron became literally became ad
clear the raid.
Don't forget about it. It really is ad clear the raid.
Ron and Val. And heck, even parts of King's Fall are really ad clear heavy. Like Golgi is really ad clear heavy, because you got to keep ads off of yourself when you're down in the pit with Golgoroth. You got to keep ads off in Daughters and Oryx. Like, there's so much ad clear in all the raids, and people don't realize that they're doing ad clear because they're also running mechanics.
Yeah. It breaks my heart because I want to see people have a good time. I want to see people like do well, but then they're resistant, and then or just they have bad experiences, and that colors them. Like, I remember I had a raid one time where someone was like, I run this, I refuse to run anything else because they had a bad experience where someone told them to change their whole loadout when they got really comfortable only running certain things. And like, hey, I feel that. I feel that on a spiritual level. But when we're trying to help you, we help you. If you're just like, hey, yo, I don't want to learn nothing. I don't want to. I just want to live specifically this way. It breaks my heart because I
feel that. I feel that so hard. I was actually pulled into Sherpaing a raid once. I was pulled into, against my own better judgment, Sherpaing 5 people in a clan in King's Fall. Me as the only Sherpa and 5 people in this clan. It was hell because they refused to change their loadouts. They wanted to do totems with like sidearms and Jotuns. Like,
I mean,
like,
someone actually cleared all of King's Fall with Jotun.
Yeah, but it was their first time. That's the thing. They wanted me to teach them their first King's Fall runs, and it was my first time teaching solo. And they only wanted to run totems with their preferred loadouts, sidearms and Jotuns. And even when I tried to bring in, more experienced Sherpas, they refused to listen to the experienced Sherpas and were actually upset that I was, that I stepped back and let the more experienced, basically professional Sherpas do their thing to try and teach them this raid. And we couldn't get past totems, even with experienced Sherpas, because these people just did not want to listen and did not want to learn. And they were refusing to listen to anyone other than me. And it was really discouraging. Like, King's Fall is my favorite raid. We were talking about this before we started recording. I have 30 some clears of King's Fall. One, because it took me forever to get freaking Malice. 34. Panda scoping my raid report. But I have 34 clears of King's Fall. One, because it took 25 times for me to get freaking Malice, but also because I absolutely love that raid. I think it's a beautiful raid, environmentally. The mechanics are great. The bosses are amazing. And, I really, really like that ship. Okay. It's really pretty up around Saturn. And it makes me feel happy when I go up there. But like, even with all those clears, it put me off of Sherping because people weren't willing to listen and weren't willing to, to switch weapons or to do the things that I was telling them to do. And the only reason we even got through totems in the first try was literally by the hair of our teeth. Like, it was really difficult to get them to do anything in that entire raid. And it put me off of Sherping, and I'm not sure if I want to Sherpa again. Especially
we gonna work on that. We gonna work on that for you, hon. Don't you worry.
But it's just as frustrating, as a Sherpa to try and teach people who aren't listening. But it's also frustrating as someone else participating in the raid when other people won't listen. Like, I get that, one Sherpa can teach things in a way that may be a little bit more understandable for someone else. As someone who's neurodivergent, sometimes, aggressive Sherpas, make me less willing to listen, but I'll listen to another Sherpa in the team who is, calm and chill and is willing to sit back and go, okay, what are you not understanding about this? That I get. But when, you're a single person just trying to teach 5 people who basically forced you into the thing in the first place, it already comes with a negativity attached to it,
Yeah,
really
you're not wrong.
Like, I did not want to teach them King's Fall, but they were like, we're only going to learn King's Fall from you. And I'm like, I'm not a Sherpa. That's not my job.
It's you or nobody.
Exactly. I told them, look, I could give them, contacts to people in 1-800 raid support or other, rating plans. 1-800 raid support? Yeah.
I didn't know about that shit.
Oh, they've been around for years. They've been around since D1.
Interesting. I did not know about that.
Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, they're the biggest rating Sherpa community in Destiny. They're amazing, and I have a few friends that work with them.
That's awesome.
But, yeah.
So Alchemy, I don't know if you want to touch on anything else specifically, but I think like we covered everything. But like just like in terms of trying to get folks to understand like how serious we are, because it's very much we come at this from a middle ground where we don't want people to get bullied. We don't want someone to have a bad time from a crap person, but at the same time, we want you to actually experience the content and not just be carried, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We want everyone to feel comfortable in a raid
and have fun.
Whether it's the person being Sherpa'd or the Sherpa themselves. Everyone deserves to have fun.
Yeah.
And if you're not having fun, then it's not a good time, and it sucks for everyone all around.
Honestly, so that specifically we wanted to talk about that. Now, this topic specifically, I want Tower to lead because she brought this to me, and I have a dissenting opinion a little bit, but it's more of a devil's advocate thing. So I want to have Tower give her like the whole thing before I dive in.
Okay. So, what was it? Late last week. Now this isn't Destiny specific, but it kind of does boil over into Destiny because there was a article, actually a couple of articles that were posted online. Game Informer, Game Rant, lots of big name gaming periodicals put out articles about something that the Red Cross posted. Now, the Red Cross, they're international organization for helping, all kinds of disenfranchised people and things like that all across the world. They help when there's natural disasters and things like that. If you don't know who the Red Cross are, that's just kind of the basic rundown of them. They posted basically a demand of gamers to stop, in their words, committing war crimes in video games. And while it's not Destiny specific, they focused mostly on games like Call of Duty, which are based in very those games are based in more IRL real war kind of stuff. Destiny kind of does fall into that because it is a first person shooter, and because of the fact that technically we commit war crimes every single day when you're playing Destiny, unless you are PvP main and never play anything like raids or go into destinations. You're not going to be doing this, but everyone else who goes into raids, goes into strikes, goes into Gambit or destination stuff, we're committing genocide every single day against 2 to 3 different alien species: Elixni, Cabal, Hive. We are systematically destroying their their culture and their people and committing genocide. We also, this was brought up last season when the Seraph Shield mission came out, where we faked out a contingent of fallen. We fake surrendered to them, which is actually a war crime according to the Geneva Convention. But we're also, Destiny 2 takes place 2,000 years in the future. And literally there is no longer a Geneva Convention to adhere to. But the thing is, the Red Cross doesn't understand that kind of stuff. So kind of like with the whole video games, create violence, in people who play them, it reminds me way too much of that old argument, and it kind of pisses me off because it's like, it's boomers doing their thing and boomering and not understanding what video games are to people and how important video games can be to things like people's therapy or social interactions and things like that. And they're telling us, oh, well, don't do the thing that you're supposed to do in video games.
See, I totally thought you were actually going to defend the Red Cross here. I was
Why?
I totally thought you were going to support them on this.
Why?
just the way you were vocalizing, I thought you were going to support them.
No. See, I can see their side, because I'm ex-military. I get it. But at the same time, did you know that 90% of active military service members play video games?
Did not know that.
Yeah. So, like, we know that we're committing war crimes in our video games every single day. Whether it's COD, whether it's Destiny, whether it's Warframe, we know what we're doing, but we also understand that it's fiction. And it's, it doesn't make any sense to demand that, people stop, doing what that fiction is meant to do,
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly think it was stupid of the Red Cross to put something out like that, and I think they should stick with their blood drives. Like, they do a great service to people all across the world with their blood drives, with their with their food drives, with putting up shelters for people who are dealing with flooding or earthquakes and stuff like that. Stick with what they know.
So here's my whole thing on it, because it's very similar to what Tower's throwing down. Because I'm of the mindset that, yes, they need to sit the hell down. Because while, like, this feels like the whole PETA created their own horrible version of Pokemon like back in the day, kind of when Black and White came out. Where, don't get me wrong, like Tower said, we violated the Geneva Convention. Like, hell, it still cracks me up that you can still go to the Cosmodrome and kill basic Fallen that have, like, no house affiliation, and Mithrax is just kind of cool with it. Like, we just kill random Fallen that, like, aren't doing anything wrong. They're just doing the basic Cosmodrome programming. Like, that still cracks me up. Like, hell, the justification we've given Cabal to still be killed is, oh, some of them don't want to side with Kaitalor. Now we have Shadow Cabal. Like, that always cracked me up during Witch Queen. So it's just, there's certain things that we've done to sort of justify certain things, which is cool. And, like, we just kill Hive because we kill Hive. That's fine. But, like, in general, it feels weird at times. And, like, there's certain plot holes that Bungie has to dance around. But that don't mean we gotta, like, have the Red Cross attacking it. Like call it, like, there's no need for all of that. I think it's kind of overkill. I think if they actually have, like kind of like how Tower was saying, like, the boomer mentality. If you actually had someone sit down and look at the lore of Destiny, where you see, like, back in the day, how Saint used to talk about how, like, human children would be eaten by Elixir. Like,
but at the same time, Saint also waged a one-man war against all the houses of Elixir.
Right.
He
so, like,
literally
it's
was
a double-edged sword.
Genocide machine.
It's a double-edged sword for sure. So it's very much one of those situations where, like, we're not much better than them, but also, like, we still did some screwed up stuff. So it very much is one of those situations, I gotta say.
It's like, okay, boomer.
It just doesn't make any sense. Because it just feels very odd. So I want to commend the Red Cross for taking a shot, but, like, we definitely put up a Titan bubble and said no.
yeah, exactly. And no farther.
like you ain't got no room to really stand on that one. I'm sorry, I ain't got nothing for you. But like this is definitely gonna be a bit of a lighter show. Like, this was sort of, like, last minute because there wasn't a whole lot of news. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff to talk about. If you guys
not recording this bi-weekly.
Oh, we're not going to bi-weekly. Nah. Like, because we don't know when news is going to drop. There's no way we can go bi-weekly.
Yeah.
And plus, like, once the new season starts, things are going to ramp back up. So there's no way we can go bi-weekly. But no, just get ready for new stuff. Like I said, we are going to be dropping some dope news this coming Friday. Like, if you want to join the Discord, and then if you are looking for a great clan, that, like, you definitely can come join us and find out the news early. But don't just leave after that. That'd be really bad. But just,
we love you.
We want to give you a home. We're queer led. We're POC led. We want to make sure that you have a home where you can play the game and enjoy yourself. Like, we've thrown shade at both casuals and pros on a regular basis because both are wrong on a weekly basis. So definitely like hear us out when it comes to that. We speak from a middle ground. We want you to enjoy this game. So definitely check us out for that. Whether it be on a Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, like all those great places. You can find this show on every platform So definitely check us out. Like to follow us on Twitter, check out the Discord. We want you to be a part of this community. So definitely check all of this out, especially because there's cool stuff coming on Friday. All right.
Heck yeah.
Alchemy, what is your closing statement for this episode?
My closing statement is I hope Titans win next week, or regarding games in general, and that just have fun and don't listen to the Red Cross because they don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Tower, what is your closing statement?
Well, I gotta agree with Alchemy on the Red Cross. Freaking Red Cross, man. They need to get their shit together. But also, yes, go Titans. Go Titans.
All right. My closing statement is I love this game so much. It has been a safe haven for me for so long. And I can't wait to like grow this community and show more people how amazing this game can be. I know it's like not the greatest thing new user wise, but we've had like people who are brand new to the game just join the clan recently. And we're showing them how to do content, showing them how to get through stuff. Or there's people who have played since D1 who just never did raids, never did content, and they're learning how to do things. We like heck, right before the raid, Alchemy got one of our clanmates div. We got like 3 other people div last week. Like we do our best to help people with content. I love that we get to do that. So I want to say thank you to these great people. Thank you to my clanmates and the clan admins for helping out recently. We've been growing a lot. I'm very thankful. But we will catch you folks next week, Starside. Peace out.